Well, welcome back, guys, to G.A.R. Productions, and as promised, we do have a Separatist vehicle. Today we're looking at the LEGO Star Wars set 75015, the Corporate Alliance tank, and this actually came out just over 10 years ago now, which is crazy to think, which I'm going to talk about in the video, but we're going to get started with looking at the minifigures, and then we'll look at the tank, and then we'll talk about, again, army build, how easy it is to build an army of them, how cost effective it is. We'll talk about costs, then we'll talk a little bit more about it in the outro. Okay, starting off with probably the weakest of the minifigures is the Geonosian Battle Droid. He came in this set, and I want to believe the ATT, and I think maybe the Homing Spider Droid. I don't remember off the top of my head that year. I remember there being, I think it was actually just the ATT in this set, and it's a good droid. It's a nice color scheme. It's the same color actually as the Rocket Battle Droids from a year or so ago. Well, let's see, the head and the torso, I believe, are the same, but the legs are different. But it's a good color. I enjoy it. I wish we'd gotten it again. It's been a long time. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So there's that. Then we got the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. This is the new design, realistic style. Came out first in 2013. No leg printing. I think this is the last year they did without leg printing, at least for the Phase 2s. I think the next year they did have, Phase 2s. Phase 1s. This was the last year they didn't. I didn't keep the blaster attachment. I didn't really like it, so I don't have it on there. I apologize, because it did come with like a really big Technic pin for the end of the blaster, which they did that 1 year and then stopped. So he is now, again, talking about army building. I want to talk about prices. He's going for about $650 used on Bricklink and about $10 new. And actually, if you guys are really looking for him, as of right now, I'm recording this on August 21st, of 2023. There's a seller on Bricklink. Has like 30 of these guys for $10 a piece, which a 10-year-old minifigure I think is a pretty decent price. So if you did want to army build this version in particular, and even if you have newer legs that you could put on if you want leg printing, just for like the torso and the helmet, I would seriously look at that. That's not a bad deal, especially for new at this point. So really good figure. Not the easiest always to army build when there's only one, but there's a good amount of sets, so he's actually not too terribly expensive, especially for 10 years later. I thought they'd be more, honestly. And then we have the shining light of the set, Mr. Jango Fett. Now, I know he's not an army building figure. He's a very cool figure, but he is very expensive. That's what this set, when it retailed, was $20 10 years ago. And now he alone is, for a good used one on Bricklink's, like $45, and new is $65. And this isn't even there's a one with an angry face. I'm sure all of you know that, or most of you, but there's one with an angry face from Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor with hyperdrive. Him and Boba came in that, and that one's like over 100 just for the face, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, he's $65 new. He really drives up the price of the set. Then get into the tank, the main show for the armor wise is the Corporate Alliance tank. I like this one. I cannot believe it's been 10 years since we've got a Corporate Alliance tank. We got one in 2005. I think we got one I think the next one was 2008, and then this one was 2013. We're on track. I'm like, okay, 5 years from now we'll get another one. No, 10 years later. And I know there's been content, and that's kind of why we haven't, I think, gotten one, but it's just crazy that we had 3 within 10 years. 8 years. 8 years we got 3 tanks, and now it's been 10 years since the last one. It's kind of crazy. He does have flick fire missiles. I'm not going to flick them off because it hurts my fingers and I don't want to. I'm sorry. I really do like the gun design. I think they did a good job on laying out the gun design. The tracks are really nice. I don't think, that's one thing I wish they could have done. I don't think we can put, let me see. You can put like battle droids on the inside, like if you want to do like a Kashyyyk. Otherwise, you're going to have to modify it a little bit. You can do that, but that's about it, which is technically not movie accurate. They're supposed to be on the outside, but yeah, you can't quite get them on the outside. So that's kind of unfortunate. I wish we could have done that. But it's a good tank. It's a good set. Again, I got it because I wanted a Corporate Alliance tank, but it's actually not my favorite. Design. The original 2005 was just expensive, and I don't really, it was kind of dated. It has a dated look, dated color scheme, but the design I like because the eyes are the ones that come up from the front, like you see in episode 3 in the last episode. one of the last episodes of the Clone Wars on the bridge. I can't remember what planet that is. But that's the Corporate Alliance tank design that I really like, is when the eyes are coming out, not when they're like up like this. This is actually technically, even though it's episode 2, so it should have been a movie style with the eyes coming forward, it's a early Clone Wars season 1 and 2 design, which for me, again, my preference, I like the movie one better. You know, other people are going to like it. I still enjoy it, but if they remake it, I hope, well, when they remake it, let's say that, I think it'd be highly unlikely that we would never get this set again. But when they remake it, I really hope it's a movie or the end of the Clone Wars season. I should maybe talk about some sets I wish they had done from the last bit of the Clone Wars, because there's a couple. But that's besides the point. I hope it's a movie one, because I like that one. But, I mean, it's a good tank. Again, though, going into Army Build, wanting to, you know, if you want CIS vehicles, it's been tough the past couple years. I mean, we haven't got, I think some of the last CIS vehicles was like a homing spider droid in 2018 or something like that, 2018, 2017. And then we got a droid, an HMP Predator gunship in 2019, and that's it. And before that, you were talking like stuff in like 2014. There was a bunch. You know, 2013, 2014, then there was a couple through 2015, some Trade Federation stuff. A bad AAT, but an AAT nonetheless, in my opinion, kind of too small. The best droid troop carrier we've ever gotten. I wish I'd gotten that set. I do not have that one. Someday maybe I can try and get it and do a review on it, because it is just an amazing set. But just not that many CIS vehicles. So, this thing is going to run you $45 now for just the tank. So you're talking over 100% increase in 10 years, which is a long time, but that's part of the reason, is because we haven't got another one. 100% increase just getting the tank used. With all the figures, if you want all the figures, which, I mean, if you do want the figures, it's actually probably a pretty good deal, because, I mean, I said good Jango's 45, the tank's 45, you're looking at used is 70 to 80, so you're already saving money buying the tank and Jango together instead of separate, let alone getting the clone trooper and the droid as well. So I would definitely do, if you're interested in the tank, I would consider, even if you want the tank and you don't want the figures, maybe you already have them, but you want to get another Corporate Alliance tank, I'd almost get the figures with it, because I think there's a couple at eBay, so, I mean, Bricklink might be a little bit cheaper, but I would get it with the figures and then sell the figures off, and then you're looking at, you might be able to get the Corporate Alliance tank, I mean, 6 for him, 35, 45, 40, so you might be in at almost $40. At least you should be able to get 40 back from this, maybe even 50, so your tank is now 35, 30, which is not a huge savings, but still, when it comes to Lego army building, saving $10, $15, saving 30% is pretty great. So that is the Corporate Alliance tank, and I think I'll just hit you up in the outro. So there we have it. That's the review on the Lego Star Wars. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look at the number because I can't remember off the top of my head. 75015 Corporate Alliance tank. A good set. I enjoyed it. I actually have 2 of these tanks. I bought them when they came out. But yeah, it's just expensive wanting to get it. Again, if you just want the tank to build your CIS army, I would really think about buying the whole set from eBay all together and then selling the figures. I think you're going to be able to save a little bit of money. Might be able to get it for $30 if you're really lucky. But other than that, you're looking at like $80, which is really unfortunate. We need separatist vehicles. That's another video I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do a couple discussions and stuff, and that's something I'm going to release here in the next month or 2, hopefully. But we just need separatist vehicles, and that's one of them. He's up there with either we need a redo or we need them made for the first time. So it's a good set if you want it. It's not like the end of the world. It's not like some things, but it's definitely expensive to try and get. I mean, by itself, 45 isn't terrible, but when it's only like 20, it was a $20 set. This isn't that many parts for $45. You can still, I mean, the 2008 AAT, which in my opinion is the best AAT and it's my favorite. I don't know why that thing's still only like 50 by itself. 50, 55. I bought mine 3 to 5 years ago and it's hardly gone up. So, I mean, if you're looking to get some CIS vehicles, some of them have gone up a lot and some of them haven't. This has gone up about 100% without the minifigures. But yeah, I'd almost get the minifigures if you want to get it. If you don't want the minifigures, sell them. You'll be able to get a lot of your money back, especially if you get a good quality Jango and you could get 45 for them. And then if you sell the Clone Trooper, you can get like 6 to 7. The Geonosis Battle Droid, I didn't check their price, but I'm assuming they're probably 3 or 4. They're probably up there since it's been so long. I mean, you're looking at like $55. Then you're looking at $25 for this, which would be actually a really good deal. So if you're thinking about it, if you want just the tank, I would really, but don't want the figures, I'd still think about getting the figures and then selling them. I know it's a little more hassle, a little bit more work, might have to look into it. I know there's going to be, paying for shipping potentially, or paying like eBay. You have those fees for selling, but still, I think you're still gonna probably be able to save some money. Do some research on it for sure, but I think you'll be able to save money if you want this set. So I do recommend it. Again, it's kind of expensive, it's gone up. There's ways to get around that a little bit, I think, and my personal opinion, I can't wait till they make a new one, because I'm really hoping it's going to be a movie style, because I'd like to almost get up to 4 of these, but I don't want to, 1, spend that much money personally, but 2, I don't want this style again. I want the new style. So we'll see you again either later this week or next week with another review. Not quite sure. Probably going to go to a clone vehicle this time. Not sure what we're going to do, but we'll see you then.